up, everyone? Coming in early here. Good to see everyone. I was thinking about coming on this morning, but I thought, well, who's going to come on in the morning? Obviously, I know there's people from Australia and things here, but anybody that lives in California or whatever, they're not going to be on here. I was thinking I need to have a good title for my video that I put out today. So I thought, okay, but I called Rhett and just kind of drive-by troll. Sorry to disappoint, you're not a virtuoso. I didn't include any bass players. I'm going to do a separate bass video about bass virtuosos. I couldn't find a good clip of Jocko. If anybody has anybody that wants to send me a good link to a YouTube video of Jocko playing where it actually focuses on him for a second. All the videos that they have a million cuts in them, or else they sound really bad sonically, not Jocko's playing. So there's that. What else? Where is everybody on here now, right? I know this is weird. Let's see here. Interesting. There's some interesting comments on here. You remember? Bam, I heard my own video. Okay, there you go. Vinny, oh man. Vinny, that one fill, people go nuts on that fill. It's so good. Yeah, pretty insane. So, I'm doing great, Amadeo. Doing really good, really well. I tried a little something different on this latest video. Shiloh, what's up? Can you become a virtuoso later on in life? All you gotta do is practice. It's easy to become a virtuoso. I think that the point of the video at the end, though, after I played George Benson, I talked about it's not what you play, it's not how fast you play, it's what you're playing when you play fast. Are you playing, is it something that when you slow it down, it's incredibly interesting and intricate, or is it just flash trash and the same licks over and over, just moving them around? So, that's I didn't want to have any commentary in there, but it's a couple of people that were arguing in the comments. Somebody that called me a content creator. Now, I've been called a lot of things, but a content creator, it sounds so YouTube. I really was kind of bummed out at that. I was like, what? I'm a what? A content creator. I guess I am, but it just sounds weird to say. It sounds like sounds so clinical. I'm finally getting used to people calling me Mr. Beato. That always kind of freaked me out, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do about that, right? Barney Kessel has a great quote on playing music. Well, what is it? I want to know. Is that supposed to be a bad thing? I don't know. This guy was saying something like, because one of the comments, and I knew I was going to get this comment. These are kind of the boring comments that I get. This is the typical thing. I get this from my friends. My friends, the only people that hate fast playing are people that can't play fast. That's the irony about it. But yet they act like look, I love David Gilmour. David Gilmour is amazing. He's one of my favorite guitar players. But come on with the David Gilmour comparisons between David Gilmour and you know, Yu Zhuang or whoever. It's a joke. The fact of the matter is, all the greatest composers were all virtuosos. Virtually all the greatest composers. Not all, but most were. Most of them could play their works incredibly well. You might argue, if you listen to Prokofiev playing his third piano concerto and you hear Martha Argerich, that you'd prefer Martha Argerich playing his work. But he could play his pieces. Bartók could play his pieces. You know, Rachmaninoff could play his pieces. Bach, these people could improvise. All those people could improvise. You know, but I included George Benson at the very end because of George Benson has incredible chops, but he's got a ridiculous feel. And when I was doing the video, I didn't want to make it too long, but I thought about this term. I was curious. I was going to get on last night and ask you guys about this. Is there such a thing, Brett? I'll ask you this. I'll be curious on your opinion. I'm curious on everyone's opinion. Are there melodic virtuosos? Because that's what Metheny is. Metheny is a melody virtuoso, where he can come up with incredibly varied melodic ideas over and over. Shiloh, you're obsessed with hertz there. Cool it with all the hertz. Your 444s, 440s. Come on, dude. You got perfect pitch? Is that the whole thing here? You know? Stop worrying about that. Well, why that number? Well, who cares? Who cares? Haydn is a melodic virtuoso. He is a melodic virtuoso. He's like Metheny, like Benson. Now, Haydn has the chops. Benson has serious chops. Metheny's got great chops, right? Incredible chops. Does he have the chops of Benson? Maybe. Maybe he does, yeah. But do they have the chops like Haydn has? No. No, they don't. Gambale's got unbelievable chops and can play melodically. But Benson, oh man, come on with the feel. Or Wes. I was going to put a Wes clip in, but last time I put it in, I got my video demonetized. There was one Wes clip. What's up, Renzo? There was one Wes clip where he's playing jingles, and it's so smoking. I've played it on here before. It's just so in the pocket. Wes is a perfect example of a melodic virtuoso. Is Eric Johnson a melodic virtuoso? No, not in the same way, because he doesn't play. I love Eric Johnson's playing. Really love his playing, but he doesn't play these incredibly intricate ideas over really difficult chord changes that sound really melodic. And that is is virtuosity only technique driven? That was kind of my question, Brett. And I say no. I think that there are people that are virtuosos of melodic ideas. I mean, John Lennon was a virtuoso of melody. Paul McCartney, they're really virtuosos. You gotta, the variety of melodies that they came up with, just incredible variety of melodies, beyond the Beatles and their solo works too. Virtuosity is not always about technique. So there's one of the clips I put in there after intonation is a major component of wind instrument virtuosos. Absolutely, no question about that. Paul Simon was a melodic virtuoso. But I included drummers, Because drumming, I mean, there's virtuosity in all different types of playing. And I should have put Charlie Parker and Coltrane in there, but I couldn't find, it's hard to find good clips. And Coltrane is, they get a little touchy about Coltrane clips. I mean, I can't include everybody. Drummers don't get enough respect. I think people were surprised that I put drummers in there. What are you talking about? Virtuoso drummers, man. Come on. Vinny. Dennis Chambers. Oh, man. I should have put the clips in of those videos. They're unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you guys, if any of you know how to share this on Reddit, you should share the video and upvote it on Reddit. Somebody can put that up there. I don't know how to do that. I don't know anything about Reddit. Anybody know anything about Reddit? Share the video on there in the what is it? We Are the Music Makers one or something? I don't know where you'd put it, but help it get some views. It's actually doing really well, video. Not the Rick Beato subreddit. There is a Rick Beato subreddit, but nobody's going to see it in there. Jocko Renzo. So I said, I don't know if you heard me say that. That I'm going to do one on bass players alone. 10,000 hours to be virtuoso. Randy, no. Well, we don't believe in 10,000 hours here. Shred it. I like that. That's a new place. Tony Williams, yes. Well, Mingus for my bass one. I was thinking, okay, who do I do on bass? You know, there are some classical bass players, but for the most part, they're jazz and rock bass players. Victor is totally a virtuoso. Then you've got Niels Henning, Ørsted Pedersen. You've got Scott LaFaro. You've got, you have people like, Ron Carter is a walking virtuoso, and Ray Brown, right? Paul Chambers, Pino Palladino, right? There you go. I mean, Flea. These are virtuosos in their. Do you say virtuoso in the true sense of the word? I focused on people that have unbelievable technique, just insane technique. Jeff Berlin, people like that, you know. It's very hard to have both, though, to actually have, well, like Benson is a really interesting, Benson is a very interesting guy because Benson can do it all. He's got one of the best, he can play unbelievably complex lines, fast and clean. He's got the chops to play chord solos, unbelievable chord solos. And he's got the best groove. Oh, come on. Jimmy Smith, groove and chops. There you go, Eric. I like that. Oh, and, Joey DeFrancesco has chops and groove. He is a great, if we're talking about organ players. So sonic virtuosos are different things. Sonic and virtuoso are two different things. Tosin Abasi is a new virtuoso, new type of virtuoso, fluid and fluent. Anyway, so this is a fascinating topic that I think could be explored more. I think that the term virtuoso can be expanded upon. Danny Gatton was a virtuoso, a chord progression virtuoso. I don't know about that. Matheny crosses the line from great player to virtuoso. Better when he was just a great player. That's interesting, George. That's very interesting. Uh, Matheny was better as a great player than a virtuoso. The better his chops got, to me, the less interesting his playing was. And if you're watching, Pat, I apologize. I didn't talk about Keith Jarrett or Chick or Herbie. Virtuosos, are they? Keith Jarrett is a virtuoso, no question about it. Are Herbie and Chick like Oscar Peterson that have this just insane technique? What is the definition of music virtuoso? I don't know. If you look up the term virtuoso, let's look it up here. Oh, before I go on, you know how I like to get sidetracked. So one of these people commented, where's this guy? I want to read the comment. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where's this thing? Somebody was commenting about oh man, there's already a lot of comments on here. It's interesting because virtuosity is was developed on the piano and guitar to the highest level already 150 years ago. I've talked about that. Whereas guitar, you see people on YouTube that are doing all these different things, playing with both hands, like Steve Vai is in there. The guitar is still being developed, different ways of playing the guitar. So technique was really, when Liszt was Chopin, Liszt, Beethoven. I mean, they were all on the cutting edge of technique. Shiloh says perfect pitch could make a virtuoso. Higher up musical success ladder, the more common it is to have it. That's absolutely true. Totally agree with that. But somebody said that one of my replies was rude. I'm trying to see this. And this is the guy that called me a content creator. Obviously has never looked at my I expect to be mercilessly attacked shortly. Rick talks about so eloquent. In this modern world that Rick talks about so eloquently, I can honestly say these guys, I can't tell these guys apart. I expect to be mercilessly attacked for saying this very shortly. And nobody's attacked him for saying that, but that's a very, very good comment there. I busted on this guy's chops. Where is this guy? This was fun. But it's the typical, I knew it. I was like, cue the David Gilmour comment. Here, hold on. Where is this? God, a lot of comments on here. Where is it? Let's see here. People complaining about people that I left off here. That was very funny. Oh, here it is. So this is the comment here that. Give me David Gilmour any day. It's like, this is like early on. Give me David Gilmour any day. He can do it better with a handful of notes and actually make you feel something in a slow tempo more than any buzzing bee in this video. Most of it just sounded like people running up and down scales as fast as they could. Well, of course it sounds like that to you. People that can't play fast can't think fast, unfortunately. So Of course, that's what it's going to sound like. A slow mind needs slow music. And my comment, my response was, thankfully, no one cares what you think. Okay? And then the guy goes, ouch, that wasn't a dig on you. Don't take it personally. And I said, I didn't take it personally. It was more like a rhetorical question, right? Then somebody writes, here comes the Pink Floyd is the best band ever. Come on. Or let's see. Then some guy says, then we have the Gilmore's my favorite. Then the next one, Gilmore puts me to sleep. What's up, Jack? I'm reading some of the comments. And then the next person, do you Gilmore fanboys do anything else other day than look down at anything over 170 BPM? And then, okay, here's the guy, Tony Bates. I think it's Norman Bates' brother. It says, uncharacteristically nasty response from the content creator there. Okay, then he goes, still, they're only viewers. Rick? No one cares what they think unless they agree with you, right? I'm with you, Donkatron. I would rather listen to these people, wouldn't listen to these people, regardless of how skillful they are. There's no feeling there. It's the triumph of technique over emotion. I suppose I'm going to have to reiterate, these virtuosos are incredibly skilled, no argument there. Okay, as for feeling, that's something else. This is Tony Bates calling me a content creator. Okay, I guess theoretically I am. But uncharacteristically nasty response. Tom, are you on here? Who reads all my comments? And I said, Tony, if you follow my channel, you will know it's not uncharacteristic at all. When people state things unequivocally, I'm going to bust their chops. I don't go for the snowflake BS either. Read the comments from my 470 videos. This will seem kind in comparison. Anybody that knows me knows that that I'm joking about the content creator thing. It's like calling me Mr. Beato. Oh, that's my dad. It's just so clinical. But that's obviously somebody that doesn't watch this channel if they call me a content creator. You can call me Rick, call me Mr. Beato. But something from a content creator. What are you, the YouTube police? I didn't banhammer the guy, you know? That was, somebody responded. The response from Rick was harsh but understandable. He's precisely making the point that what makes a virtuoso is not the speed, but what and how they play, and presents a careful selection of musicians to illustrate this. And then some musically challenged individual claims that they are just practicing scales. Thank you. A content virtuoso. Yes, William, right there. Love that. Best comment on here. The YouTube cops on here. Now, I didn't banhammer this Tony guy, right? And I'll tell you why. Because Martin Paddle, just had it incredibly, I couldn't respond that well. I admit my vocabulary is limited. I think there's a skill to be developed where you sing your emotions through your instrument too. Steve Vai talks about it, but it's just an a-hole way to say it. Scalar playing is boring. Saying something is more important than being a wordsmith. Agreed. But could you copy paste that quote about content creator? Right? I know that's good, but this is you guys feel free to respond. There's 19 replies to this. This is a great place to this is a great little thread there to comment on. Now, a couple of people that commented on there, like Marshall Harrison made a comment on there on the video, who's got an unbelievable technique. Great guitar player. I highlighted Rick Graham. Those of you that know Rick, I don't know Rick personally, but Rick is out there educating people with no strings attached. And not only no strings attached, but he's unbelievably positive about it. And I really applaud him, and I put him in the video. You guys know I talk about my YouTube people that I like and interview people like Adam Neely, like Amy, like Nare, like my friend Derek Gable. I talk about YouTube people and people that are great players and that are, and I love people that get on there and are very selfless and give away their everything, Yeah, I sell my book. I make my living out selling my book, but but I get on here as much as I can, and I make videos almost every single day. So there you go. That's what I have to say about that. So feel free, if you haven't watched the video, feel free to go in there and leave it a comment. And anybody that can share it on Reddit would be greatly appreciated. The term is as broad as precise as you want. Explaining Prince's vast spectrum of virtuosity would be a hard task. I think you could. I can't explain Prince, HK. You can't do Prince videos. Blocker. Stopping at FedEx. Subi on the way home. There you go. Brett, I still never listened to many of the Shredders. I love Van Halen, Holdsworth, vibe, but to me, it's not always about the solo. The song matters as well. This is why virtuosity is not. You don't find virtuosos that people that are huge like Steve Vai or Joe Satriani nowadays. And thank you everybody for saying for appreciating me sharing my knowledge here. It's just what I do, and so I appreciate you saying so, though. But the thing that Brett just said about all those great shredder virtuosos, all those great players like Van Halen. I mean, Steve Vai was not known he was known to people like me when he was in Frank Zappa, but until he played with David Lee Roth or was in the Crossroads movie, people didn't know him. All those guitar players, the 80s metal shredders, were all in bands that had massively big platinum records. All of them were, and all the guys in the 70s and 60s, Jimmy Page, all the famous guitar players, Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, had huge records. They had huge records, They were in bands. Maybe not Jeff Beck. That was not a good example, but Hendrix, they were all part of huge bands, and that's why they were famous, because they played guitar on songs that were hits. So anyways, so that's all I have to say about this. If you want to get a copy of the Beato book, BB865 is the code for today. Especially for you guys right now. I just put it up on my store for next 24 hours. I know that some of you live in places that you can't afford to, that it helps having a discount. So there's people from all over the world. I understand that, which is why I do that. Shiloh, would you give me your opinion on on your new way to quickly learn absolute pitch for adults? No, I won't, because you can't do it. If that's why you're on here, Shiloh, to hawk that, then you're in the wrong place. Blow Blah Blow was a huge record, but I was my comparison, George, was of people that were parts of bands that had hit songs with vocalists. So that was my point with that. From those eras. I was talking more of the people that were from, the people like Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. Now, Jimmy Page a virtuoso? Jimmy Page is a sonic virtuoso. So is the Edge. And Jeff Beck was a virtuoso. Jeff Beck is still a virtuoso. He's still a virtuoso. Amazing. Love Jeff Beck. Rhythm virtuoso. Well, I played some of them. Vinny, Dennis Chambers, Elvin Jones, George Benson, Matheny. They're so. Anyways, that's all I have to say on this today. This is great. Menu Cache, thank you. Pete Townsend. Oh man, I got to do a video on the Who. Got to do one on the Who. In my opinion, you need to be virtuous in some way. I don't know. We're kind of redefining dynamics virtuosos. Wow, like that. Redefining virtuoso, that can be a whole nother video, but I'm going to do a bass video. I'm definitely going to do a bass video. Okay. And sorry I haven't been on the Beato forum. I promise I'm going to go on that this evening. Okay, watch my new video. Please comment on it and share it. If somebody shares it, somebody share it on Reddit and put it on We Are the Music Makers if any of you know how to do that. All right, Shiloh, email me, send it to me. I'm very willing to listen. But yeah, share it on We Are the Music Makers on Reddit and go and upvote it there. You guys are awesome. I won't be on tonight because I'm taking the night off to watch TV. No, I'm not. Come on. Maybe I'll be on live. I'm not sure. I'm going to... I have some ideas for a new way that I want to try to do what makes this song great. Jari, I read your comment and it was too short. Come on, man. I loved your comment on the video, but I needed a little bit more. I think you need to respond to a couple of these people there. Tom, what's up? How are you? All right. You guys are the best. I'm going to go eat dinner. Thank you. rickbeato1@gmail.com.